So after seeing many videos of digital nomads saying that they're giving up being a digital nomad and coming back to their homes and they don't want to have the nomadic lifestyle anymore, I decided to come here to share my truth about it, my opinion, my thoughts to other people that maybe are desiring to be a digital nomad and are confused about this. Is it worth it? Is it isn't? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. So let's talk about it. I've been living as a digital nomad for 5 years now, and my perspective has changed a lot during that time. So I want to discuss some of the topics that those videos are bringing up. I want to discuss pros and cons, and I want to give my view on how this lifestyle can be more sustainable. My name is Tarsila, I'm Brazilian, and for the last 5 years I've been living in different parts of Brazil, in different parts of the US, in different countries in Europe. I lived in Jamaica when I was stuck there in COVID, and now I'm based in Canada temporarily. I am not the stereotypical nomad. You're gonna find that ideal of the typical nomad working with their computer on the beach. The idea of putting my computer near the sand actually scares the shit out of me. Because I've lived in the beach for a while with my computer and that computer died. So I'm not even a beach person. I did not quit everything and sold everything to move to Asia. I didn't go to Asia yet. I did not go to Bali to live with other digital nomads. I'm not gonna be the one telling you to quit your 9 to 5 to live this lifestyle because I never had a 9 to 5 to quit in first place. I started my journey as a digital entrepreneur when I was in college in São Paulo, Brazil. I was studying biology. I majored in biology, but I never worked as a biologist because during my university I started diving into marketing, content, and doing exchange programs during my holiday vacation during my university, and that's how I started discovering ways to do this in a different way and how I could travel more. And I am a bit more towards planning and having long-term goals than having impulsive decisions. So while I was in university, I was discovering these worlds and creating opportunities and understanding options and how to make this possible. So when I finished university, I was already kind of ready to dive myself even more into being nomad. The other reason I wouldn't tell you to quit your 9 to 5 is because depending on the type of 9 to 5 that you have, you can also bring that to your nomadic life. There are ways and different types of formats, I would say. There are different formats of work that you can do that will lead in the same goal of having geographical freedom. You don't necessarily need to be an entrepreneur. You don't necessarily need to be a content creator. You don't necessarily need to quit your 9 to 5 depending on what your 9 to 5 is. Or maybe you're gonna change from one type of 9 to 5 to another. Maybe you're gonna have a remote job on a 9 to 5 basis, but that is gonna give you the opportunity to be and to have more geographical freedom. On those videos that I watched, they complain a lot about the lack of routine, the lack of connection, the unsustainable life of a digital nomad, digital person, and experience numbness. I'm gonna touch with those points with you in topics here. I agree and I disagree with them partially, but with each one of those, I think I have an interesting view to share. Which brings me to my first topic, which is why are you doing this? Why do you want to have geographical freedom? Why do you want to travel? Why do you want to be a digital nomad? Usually this thought is attached to the thought of quitting everything and moving to a tropical paradise, right? YOLO. But I do question how much some people, including me in the past, choose this for vanity and superficial reasons. Maybe in the beginning, I also chose this for the more obvious reason, because the dream of being able to work and travel at the same time, being able to work while you travel the world, or be able to be paid to travel, or be able to work from whatever and go explore the world without any idea of when you're gonna come back, that all sounds very appealing. But today, after being a nomad for 5 years, I understand more deeply why I am so drawn to the idea of traveling. Why did I want to have geographical freedom in first place? I want to see the world with my own eyes, but not just to see it. It's because when I get in contact and I immerse myself in other cultures, in other ways of living more deeply, I feel that I'm learning a lot about myself and the world, and at the same time I feel very alive in a different way. It gives me purpose of how am I spending my time on earth, and time is all that we have. So I think it's good for us to meditate and reflect a little bit what it means for us to spend our time on this life in a meaningful way. And to me, that is seeing the world with my own eyes and being able to feel how it feels to live in a different place, to see how other people live in those cultures, to learn with their cultures, feeling in my skin and touching and smelling other cultures and other stories. It brings me deep purpose of being alive and enjoying my time on earth. I truly believe that tourism can be a way of deepening our sensibility and our empathy. But if we're only doing the touristic beaten path to get those same selfies that everyone has on the same touristic spots, we are still in a very shallow part of what traveling can be. And I'm scared to death to be a shallow person. So I don't want to move to Bali so I can party all the time and live with other digital nomads, because that's not the real world that I want to see. I am not gonna quit everything or even follow this lifestyle with the purpose of becoming a digital nomad, period. I did and I will continue to find a way to work online so I can experience the world more than 2 weeks a year and dive deeper into the culture and the places that I go to. Being a digital nomad is a means to an end. It's not the ultimate goal for me. If you don't really know why you're doing this in a deeper level and you're just doing this for doing this because you think it's cool, because you want to party every day, because you want to be a digital nomad, because it's cool in the pictures, you want to sit on the beach and send pictures with coconuts to your friends because you want to show someone something, I don't know if that's gonna sustain in the long term. Doing it for the sake of doing it, to say that you visited X amount of countries, it's not gonna be sustainable and fulfilling. I am still a digital nomad today, but I am spending a longer time in Canada now, so I don't see necessarily a digital nomad as one thing that I have to step my foot in every country that there is around me. I see this more as a lifestyle, so I have goals here in Canada, for example, that I can share in other videos another time, that need me here for a longer period of time. And then after that, I'm gonna go to a different country. I've been in experiences last year, for example, I spent 3 or 4 months in Europe in different countries, and I did a bunch of traveling, and now I am home based here for other purposes. But even though I have a home here and I'm here for a longer period of time, I rented a place and all that, in my mind and in my lifetime, I still know that this is temporarily. So it doesn't have to be something that you have to reach as much countries as you can in 1 year. You can do this with time in a longer stretch period of time. Which brings me to the second topic. The second topic that they complain on these videos is the lack of connections with people. They say that they meet a lot of people, but they don't deeply connect with them. My first question is, with who you're trying to connect? Because if you were going to live in an island where most of the people that are living there are tourists or digital nomads like you, because you're staying on those touristic paths, yes, I believe you. I believe that can happen. I would say this is a tricky topic because there are a few things that we need to consider to talk about this. And the first thing is the type of experience that you live with these people that you're meeting makes a total difference in how you're gonna connect with them. And who are you trying to connect to as well? Connection doesn't necessarily come from time that you're spending with someone. You don't need years to connect with someone. You need to be able to feel vulnerable and go through experiences with people. One of the reasons I say this is because I have lived with someone under the same roof every day we shared a house, and I felt a completely and total disconnection from this person. So staying somewhere with someone 24 hours a day doesn't guarantee that you're gonna connect with someone. And on the other hand, I've had experiences with people for a short period of time when I was in an exchange program, when I was volunteering somewhere while I was nomad, and those experiences were so deep that created such a beautiful bond that even if I don't see this person forever, I feel that I had a special connection with someone. I know that if I text her, we're gonna have a conversation, or I text them, because there's multiple people around the world, we're gonna connect again. If I ever go back, I am gonna visit. And if they come here, that are welcome to stay with me and visit me too. But traveling doesn't mean that you are automatically learning how to connect with people. Dealing with people and connecting with people in such a digital world has been more and more challenging, because we're so connected digitally that we did not learn to develop of our skills, our social skills. So it will take some time and also some experience traveling to be able to learn how to connect with people when you go away, when you are starting to know someone new, to be able to open yourself in a more vulnerable way in an experience that connects with other people. I know that this is harder for others. Some people would say that Brazilians, we are very open to connect and we are very warm, but that doesn't come necessarily from your nationality. I have people here in Canada that are definitely the Canadian stereotype of like kind of close, and they take a long time to open up and tell things about themselves. And I have people here, Canadians, that are completely open to me, very warm, very embracing, very upfront about their feelings and their thoughts. So it doesn't necessarily come with nationality. It comes with how much you will have the courage to open yourself, to be vulnerable to others, because vulnerability is what creates connection. That doesn't mean you have to open your biggest, deepest ones, but you're gonna have to be open to connect, to hear, to share, to go through a meaningful experience with someone. I have some suggestion that I want to give that is something that really helped me create special connections while I was being a nomad. During this 5 years that I have been a nomad, for 3 times I have volunteered, I have done work exchange. So I chose experiences in somewhere, in some place, where I would give some of my hours in return of food and a place to stay. That method of traveling is called work exchange, and I like to put work exchanges in the middle of my experiences in places that I go. So I've done this in the US, in the United States. I've done this here in Canada. The first time I came to Canada was doing a work exchange. I've done it in France too. They were completely different experiences that were amazing. The first time in Montreal, I worked in a hostel with other volunteers from different countries, and it was really beautiful. I still talk to some of them until today. It was my first work exchange experience, so it was definitely a feeling of opening my life and my mind to a different experience. I worked in a hostel for 30 days. I was living there for free, and I had food, also breakfast for free. The second time I did that was in the United States, so I work exchange in a Buddhist retreat in the New York State, and it was such an amazing experience. I was there for 40 days. I connect with people from the US, but also from other countries that were also there volunteering. Such a feeling of love for them in my heart, because we shared that experience together. We were volunteering together, and that makes you create a special bond with someone. And that type of experience is something that traditional tourism will never ever give you. So one of the people that were there volunteering with me in the Buddhist retreat was the guy that was from Hawaii, and he taught me how to do the hula, the dance a little bit.
Hi, I'm Cole. I'm from Hawaii, and I've been a volunteer here for 6 days.
Are you liking it?
I'm really liking it, yes.
Nice.
There's plenty of time to meditate, good food, good people.
The other girl was from Pennsylvania. There was a guy from Mexico. I was from Brazil there, sharing my culture. Also learning a lot about Buddhism in that place, and meditating and doing the classes. So in this retreat, I had also accommodation for free. I didn't have to pay for anything to stay there, and all the meals included. So it was basically, I had nothing to spend my money. I just had to give a little bit of my time per week. So I was working like 30 hours a week, helping them to organize in the kitchen and putting things things together and cleaning a little bit. In exchange, I was able to stay there with them, eat with them, do the yoga classes, do the meditation classes, and it was such a beautiful, amazing time. We went on hikes. I saw the fall leaves in that area in upstate New York that is so beautiful. It was such an amazing experience. And the third time was in France. So I decided to volunteer in a small town that is close to Lyon, which is I think it's the second biggest city in France. I was there because I wanted to practice French, because I speak French and I wanted to improve my French. My host in this experience, in this work exchange, was a guy that had a little farm. He only eats what he produces. So I was helping him with the gardening. It was kind of cold, so there was not a lot of work with the garden to do. There were other things like mosaics to do. I also wanted my help to do a video of a trip he had done to India. So he had all these pictures that he wanted to put up in a video, and I did this for him. And I also had a room just for me that I didn't have to pay anything to stay there. It was a free accommodation in exchange for my work. And also I had all the meals included, and we were cooked together. I cooked Brazilian meals for him. It was a guy that was staying there with her. He was from Peru. He cooked his home meals too. The mom of my host also had someone from New Zealand staying with her, and she was his neighbor. So we went to her house, and the volunteer that was with her cooked a New Zealand meal for us. And we were there in the middle of this mountain in a small town in France, speaking in French and trying foods and trying drinks and talking about culture and learning with this genuine family that just opened their lives and their houses to receive volunteers, to give them a little culture and to give them this special experience. So I cannot say that I didn't connect with people. And if you want to do a work exchange like that, I truly recommend the platform called Worldpackers is the one that I did this. And I have a discount code for them. So I'm gonna put them on the description below. So what these platforms do, they collect a lot of hosts in the world that are open to receive volunteers. You're gonna give some time of your life to help someone with something, some project. There are many different types of experiences to do, many different types of activities. You don't have to be an expert in anything because they are just receiving help. So they're very open to people that want to learn, and they will train you if they need you, unless it's something very specific, like they want help to build their website. If you don't know how to build a website, maybe it's not gonna be the best option for you. But they have many opportunities that don't require many technical skills. There is no age limit, and you just have to see some type of experience that you feel comfortable doing. You can see the reviews of other people that went to those same places if you are insecure about this place. Through the platform, you can connect with the people that already went there. So if you see an experience that you like and you see that someone already did a work exchange there, you can send them a message and ask if they really liked it, if they recommend, if the host actually did what was the deal and didn't try to stretch the relationship in any weird way. And it's really a door to amazing experiences. It's available all over the world, and you pay the fee to use for 1 year. So you pay one fee, which is $40, and you're able to apply for as many work exchange experiences you want to have for 1 year. You pay only once, and then you can use for a year. It's really, really amazing. You can do work exchange after work exchange and go to different countries. You can stay short times, like a week. You can stay months, depend of what the host accepts. So there are some places that are open to shorter experiences. Other places prefer longer experiences with volunteers. So it's open all year round. It's up to you to find one, connect with the host, and then plan your trip. Maybe I will never see some of these people that I connected to anymore, but I feel deeply grateful that we connected instead of being sad that it ended. The quality of the experiences I had volunteering was much deeper than many other touristic experiences I had traveling. And also, if you spend some time somewhere, a longer period of time, and you start to insert somewhere in places where you connect with people, you start building community, that's also a way for you to connect. Now that I am here in Montreal for a year and I am spending more time here, I can deepen my relationships with the people that have here. But I can also say that it doesn't really necessarily guarantee because I'm spending more time with them that I will connect more. I've had people in my life that I spent less time together and I connected faster in a deeper way. So it's really a human thing. It's not an exact science. You have to be open to try to meet people, to connect, and see that every relationship is gonna be unique, and you're gonna have to accept them from what they are. Be grateful for the ones that happened, let go of the ones that didn't work as well, and try to keep connected to the people that you match on the way. I have friends in England, I have friends in Paris, in Europe, I have friends in Brazil, of course. I will miss my friends here when I leave Canada so much in the future. And there are other places that I've been that I didn't really connect that much with people, and I can see that was mainly because of the type of experiences I was having there. Well, I just realized that I spoke much more than I was planning to. So I'm gonna have to continue the next two topics, which is routine and sustainability of being a digital nomad, on the next video.